Chief Meteorologist Jason Sadeko here with another severe weather update for you, continuing to track this line of severe storms as it's pushing its way eastward into portions of the metro. Waukee not far away, Perry downwards towards Winterset as well. So we've had very strong winds associated with this. Some radar indications on the northern edge have been upwards of 70 miles per hour, if not a little bit higher. So I'm going to track that area of winds out for you and see when it's going to be in your neck of the woods. These have been moving at around 40 miles per hour. So that's going to put these into Minburn, 2 minutes. Dallas Center, you got 4 minutes. Waukee coming in at 7 minutes. Grimes, 16 minutes. 17 minutes for Granger, Clive at 18 minutes, West Des Moines at 18 minutes as well. So really that means making its way into the metro in just over 20 minutes or so now. And you can see the strength of the winds that we've got on the northern edge of this line. That area right there is what I'm talking about when I'm saying winds upwards of 70 miles per hour or so. These have weakened a bit since they were just even 15 miles west of there out near Panora where they were at their strongest. But notice these kind of bulgy sections. That's what we look for when we look for tornadic rotation that may be embedded within a line of storms. That area modifies the wind field enough where we may be able to see some of that rotation. And we're keeping a close eye on it here. Usually our shear tracker can pick up on some of those areas, and right now it's a little bit messy because we likely have very strong winds rushing in and out of these storms. So as we go back to velocity, this though, again, cause for concern, as is that bulge right there. So again, things we'll keep an eye on. We'll zoom out a little bit further here. I want to keep an eye on some southern extents of this storm. Again, winds have weakened a little bit down near Winterset, but as we hop on radar, still very strong. Rain is falling. You can see perhaps even a little bit of outflow kicking out from that storm there. But this not too far off from the metro. David, you got something that you're looking at. What are you seeing?
Yeah, we just got in a report. This is coming into the National Weather Service that we do have large limbs and even whole trees being reported blown over in Guthrie Center, Panora, and Stewart. So that was with this surge of high winds. This is going to be about 30 minutes ago when the storm was moving through Guthrie Center, Panora, and Stewart. And now it's moving into Adel, moving into Dallas Center, moving into Minburn. So this is what we're looking at the potential here for some damaging winds causing tree limbs and perhaps even whole trees to be blown over here in Panora, Stewart, and Guthrie Center. We're going to try to get more information on that, but so far it does look like there's been some at least moderately significant damage here in parts of eastern Guthrie County. So that's what is moving toward Dallas Center, Minburn, Adel, DeSoto right now, Jason.
Yeah, and again, the strength of the winds to the west were slightly stronger, but this storm's at least maintained decent strength. Winds of around 70 miles per hour possible with this. And we'll see as this approaches the metro if it gets any more steam going. We're dealing with much more untapped air mass as this has pushed its way to the east. But again, these bulges that we've got trying to surge their way out from this line is cause for concern. We're going to continue to have to keep that close eye on those to see if they can modify those wind fields enough to cause any of that rotation. But right now, just to the southwest of Waukee, you likely have winds upwards of 60 to 70 miles per hour. You can see that kind of surging its way your direction. Adel, Dallas Center, upwards towards Perry. Granger, you're just down the line from this as this area of dangerous, damaging winds has been surging eastward at around 40 miles per hour or so. Not seeing any definite signs of rotation like we saw earlier, just indications that there may be some if this continues to evolve. Again, we had that tornado warn storm west of the line of storms where we've got now. And thankfully, that rotation died off, and now we're seeing damaging winds, but you get winds in excess of 70 miles per hour, and a lot of times that can do damage, significant damage on par with what we typically see with tornadic damage as well. So I'm going to hop out briefly here statewide, keep an eye on some of the other storms we've got. You look west and everything is sub-severe, still seeing some very heavy rain in a lot of locations. You get upwards towards Fort Dodge, nothing severe there, as well as Carroll, eastward towards Ames. That main core of strong to severe storms that we've been keeping an eye on, again, is just on the edge of the metro, continuing to surge its way to the east. So I'll put a new track up here for you. That severe thunderstorm warning goes until 1:15, and I would imagine if this holds together, we'll see this expanded, or at least a new warning issued on the east side of the metro as well. Minburn, right now, you have got that strong, severe storm pushing its way through. Van Meter, you've got 2 minutes. Dallas Center in 3 minutes. Waukee, 8 minutes. St. Charles in 12 minutes. Bevington, 13 minutes. And we have got Granger coming in 15 minutes. Grimes in around 16 minutes. So anything north of there, again, largely just talking about rain and can be heavy at times, but the heaviest that we're going to see is between Perry and Winterset right now, as we have seen very, very incredible rainfall rates with this storm, as well as the damaging winds. And it looks like, David, you've got some of those pulled up for us right now.
Yeah, just looking at the rainfall rates over the last 6 hours as the storm has rolled to the east. And of course, this is coming down in a much shorter time than 6 hours. But you can see an average rainfall here across this swath with this storm just north of I-80 of at least an inch. And some of these bullseyes, we're talking 2 to 3 inches of rainfall. And a lot of this is coming down within an hour, hour and a half or less. And so the ground is already relatively saturated across this part of Iowa. So we are watching the potential for some ponding of water or quick rises on smaller creeks and streams. We don't have any reports of flash flooding coming in just yet. It would take a little bit more rain than this to produce some significant flash flooding, but that is something we're going to be watching here for the rest of the overnight. Of course, we have that flood watch that goes through tomorrow morning, Jason.
Yeah, 7 a.m. is, I believe, when that cuts out for us. But